after they made the Constitution,
Yeah.
shortly after that, we never really won the war with England. What they did was they agreed to stop hostilities. But the agreement to stop hostilities was if we would repay England for the expense of the war. That was,
I didn't know that detail.
that was the founding fathers' fuck up. When they should have said, no, we're not going to, and if you want to keep the war going, we'll fight.
Was there still political, military-based reality to be considered in the name of realpolitik, in terms of what force there's arrayed against you or something?
Well,
they did come and burn Washington in 1812.
Right, and that...
Well, 14.
Right. I'll get up to that.
Yeah.
All right, at that point, the England said they wanted, I think it was $7 million or $17 million for reparations for the war. Said, well, okay, we'll stop hostilities, but you pay us for the expense that it took to fight. The founding fathers, the one fuck up they made was saying, yes, we agree to that. Once they agreed to that,
big contract.
America didn't have money at the time. It was broke. So what England started doing was charging interest on the money that we owed, right? Now, the government went bankrupt and they had to reform. When they reformed it not under the Constitution like we know it. They incorporated the United States.
Is it before the Constitution?
No, after.
After.
The whole country's been incorporated. It's a corporation.
Yeah.
Even all the courts are now incorporated. They're not constitutional courts.
Oh, God, it's really interesting.
They all have Dun and Bradstreet numbers.
Right, they all have Dun and Bradstreet numbers.
They have to have profits
So,
and losses. They want
a
profits.
corporation
Really?
cannot...
And a judge gets more money, more retirement, the longer his sentences, because his court is producing more. It's like a good stockbroker house.
Right.
It's registered with Dun and Bradstreet.
And a corporation can't try a sovereign. That's why they got to trick you into becoming a corporation.
Now, how did they do that? I mean,
They
for the
tricked your
citizen.
mother first by getting
Yeah.
her to sign a birth certificate, which incorporated you. That's where that's the first time
Well, that's
your
probably
name was in
happened
all capital letters.
But that process probably applies to nearly 100% of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
you're,
until you say,
like,
I'm not a corporation, you have to inform the court. I'm not, this corporate entity that was made in my name isn't me.
Okay.
I'm a
Has that
sovereign
been done
human being.
much within the court system?
Yeah,
Or you're
quite a
doing
few-
it, and you're successfully
Quite a
doing
few people have done
it.
it.
And that's the basis of what you're doing with the court in Ulster?
Right.
God bless you. That's great. That's really good. You're standing up to it. Are there people, Constitution Man and other people, going along that line?
Yeah, they're all...
It should be disseminated widely. I just said to, Rosalie, that I think Constitution Man, or that whole process of having, because you understand it.
Yeah.
And you have a legal thing where you can do it, and he understands it really good. Really good. I think it should be put into a algorithm, and that it comes in, and this kind of a thing would connect with, in terms of practicality, would come in to where it would connect automatically to the kind of linear perspection you did, where you made it available. But in a practical sense, it should be put into a program. Because isn't it very difficult to become as knowledgeable as Mr. Constitution Man in any of the detail? Isn't it daunting to citizens who are totally ignorant of the whole ball of wax?
Yeah, you got to study.
There she is, Molly.
Yay.
Don't worry, I gotta go smoke cigarettes, so you guys at ease.
This is Molly Cheshire.
Wow, she's got
Meetings
new
with
muscles.
remarkable
Hey, I
people,
like.
a remarkable person.
Yeah.
It is pretty solid. Yeah,
Wow.
good for you.
Ow. Molly, where have you been today?
I can't tell you.
Okay,
Or
that's good.
You'd have to kill
I
us.
can't confirm or deny.
Yeah, she's learning to use the language
I
of the law.
broke 2 huge lenses today.
Oh, fuck.
Not on purpose. What
No.
That's
happened?
not on purpose.
What happened? I'm straightening out the wheels. I said, poof. I was like, oh God. And then the second one happened. I turned off the light. I stepped out. I went to lunch, and this production assistant was like, "There was a bulb that broke," and there's like shattered glass all over the lift. And we look up, and this huge lens is broken.
Oh my God!
So that was.
You look positively radiant, nevertheless.
I know. Nothing like destruction. Oh wait, I have a photo.
What causes it to happen?
Were you gaffing?
No, I'm
No.
just like a third electric, or one of the many.
Oh.
Let me see. I'll show you a
What
photo.
causes them to pop?
They're extreme heat. They're basically two.
You have to cool them down some different way, or you're supposed to turn them
Well,
off?
it's. I think it's just these new
I mean, what's the blame
lights
to you
are.
about it?
It's got such a big bulb, and they've made the housing much smaller.
But what are you supposed to do different than you did?
I don't know. I think there was air conditioning on. I'll show
You're
you.
getting a picture of something.
I took a photo.
You took a photo of the
Oh, I
evidence.
hope the camera can pick it up.
No, the camera.
I think you should start asking around. Hello, what's going on? You know,
Well, I asked the other guys. Believe me, you know, it's
What
like
did they say?
I was like, there's going to be a black mark next to my name. You know, I mean,
What is that?
Yeah, are these new lights or old lights?
these are brand new lights.
So it's a bad design.
That's what I said, because I know, you know, I mean, there it is.
Design, we're back to
Design, yeah, universal design, yeah. Good to see you,
See
man.
here.
Oh, go closer.
Mm.
Now what's this, Molly?
These are two 10K lights,
Oh, that's
and
big.
that's the
Get the glare on.
broken.
Wow.
Those are the broken lenses.
Let me see if I,
Now
excuse
all of
me. That's
Manhattan
more
Neighborhood
important.
Network will see it.
Yeah, that's.
Molly Cheshire,
See, this is why you let the staff help you with your lighting.
Oh, they're gonna love that.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
I can use $20.
Exactly.
Molly gives me $20 when I help her.
Uh-huh.
Is that your phone?
Yeah.
Anyway, there was some way to get that sort of thinking that you have, and not only is this thing really great at one level, but that kind of understanding of that context could be got out to more people if it could be put into an algorithm, particularly if they're on the practical side, if they can relate, this is what happened to me, and then boom, and then it goes boom, boom, like a program.
Right. Well,
You know,
that's why
because-
Paula put the Constitution Man and
Yeah, I do.
and Gene Keating on her YouTube thing.
Well, that's a
now
video.
people- right.
That's a video there.
Right.
But I'm saying it could be a program, like a computer program.
Well,
That could, you know.
I don't know much about computers, how to
either.
do any of that stuff.
Yeah, but you can postulate about something even though you don't know the details.
Yeah, you know, I
think you have
agree.
to avoid details.
It would be nice
Is
to
this
have
the
a way
Silver
for
Cup
people to be able to
cereal?
access it.
Right, because what we would like to see is a
This is
system where there can be as much harmony and
Stein.
emergence of camaraderie between the people of this planet and the environment as we possibly can.
Well, the more
So, and the
people,
more people know, the
It's-
better.
yeah, it's
right,
big
and the
cereal.
more people that stand up and say, "I'm a sovereign,"
Hmm.
the more people that challenge the system and take a stand.
In terms of the understanding of the legal system itself.
Right, right,
Not
right.
necessarily in
Yeah,
terms of
you gotta
universal
remember that
design of universe
circular,
or anything, or
Congress-
any
Right.
larger issues necessarily.
Right.
Because there'd be a lot of
Like a
questions there that are going to come up
circular
against
counter
all our inherited
Well, now we have
institutions.
a
All of our
corporate
inherited-
government
Yeah.
with corporate courts.
Uh-huh.
When people start breaking free from the corporate and say, "I'm a sovereign," a
Idlewild.
corporation has no authority over me.
Pan Am.
Okay.
But
When
it
enough
does
people-
exercise that kind of authority over people all the time in their ignorance.
Right,
Of what
right,
you know.
right, right,
Right.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
But the more people that do it, the weaker the system starts becoming.
Well, yeah, okay.
Greed
And the
is public.
system
And then the
is
sovereigns step up
something...
and take care of it, because you have to then take care of it.
Yeah, but you want to avoid in a certain sense, if you can, or can we ever avoid the good, bad, you know, the dialectic and everything like that?
Oh,
And
well,
everything?
I don't know.
I don't know, but either. But I think we're at a time of this qualitative transformation. And I think it goes to 1970. There were
Yeah.
things going on in the evolution of this broader evolution of consciousness and universe, and that year, in terms of the extended human capability to make the environment different, 1776, you brought the United
I'm in
States
agreement
of
with you,
America.
except I think it was 69.
Well, 69,
Yeah,
70.
yeah, what about that? Let's go
But-
69.
But you get
man.
back within a larger
Just because
context.
it's a round number,
and you have
I
the
think we're gonna come to
capability of
70
creating
when it
the
was really
environment ultimately,
69.
then...
I got busted
then-
for buying 69
then-
too, man. Come on.
No, there was something going on then And there's evidence that's really good in terms of particularly systems
Well,
thinking.
Woodstock happened in '69.
It did. No, but
And
there was...
it was a whole generational thing. They all said, no, we're not buying into the lie anymore.
Well, that's a little bit politicized.
No sound.
That's true.
No, okay, no,
it takes that form,
Right.
and it should
I got it.
probably have to take that form, but it would be good to have some, there was something more, as Bobby said, blowing in the wind.
Right.
You know,
Right.
there was something felt all over the world.
Right.
There was something going on
Should be good now.
existentially
Right.
in terms of what's going on in universe at that time. And that's the thing that brings you around to like trying to understand. They did not we have a unique capability of taking the measure of things to consciousness and universe. Information is coming in from all sides over the transom exponentially in every field. We're learning more and more. We're coming to a moment, it's like the water's about to break. We're coming to a time like coming to the end of a pregnancy of 200,000 years, and we're coming into possibly a
New age.
I
like it. New age. Come on, why
new
not?
relationship, conscious relationship, similar to our leaving Homo habilis and emerging as Homo sapien. We're coming to the end of the Homo sapien experience. It is a messianic time.
Right.
And we get there, and there's evidence for understanding that strictly from a
Hey, well, come on, man, this is
context.
modern language. Like, we're going from being fooled to thinking smart.
No.
How about that? Hey.
From
No,
being
it
alive to being dead.
Well, we're in that point now, and it's 70.
How about
in the
thinking
fullness of
smart,
time,
Harold? How
if
about
we
this?
make it.
Thinking smart in good faith.
No,
How's that for a package deal?
that's
You
good
copy that
idea.
religion?
That's something that's really worth. That's a universe. You got these principles, but this is that weapon system thing reached species lethality.
All right, get negative. We're positive.
The
The
guy
future,
from-
beautiful,
at the time,
growing,
Cuban Missile
designing
Crisis.
for abundance. That's the
No,
trick.
well,
How do
no.
we design for abundance,
No,
brother?
well, the first thing is you have to make have some sort of an understanding of what is there qualitatively different about now than all of human existence and evolution.
And can you package that into
And we'll
starting
know
a
a
new
couple- it could
narrative
be
for
down
the
to a-
public to join in as a narrative, a national narrative,
Well,
urging us upward out of the bad guy thing?
Well, it's no, they did not. The CERN, science is going towards CERN now in France, and they had the accelerator there.
Oh
and they
yeah,
wanted
there
that
you go. They're
accelerator. They've had
accelerating.
trouble.
There you
They
go.
wanted to find the boson, and they from particle physics understanding. They're trying to break things down.
Yeah, they're breaking it down,
And the
man.
thing is, in physics, we understand things increasing. We're becoming aware. We're becoming aware in a way that we haven't been out of all of history. And it's coming, you said about oil, is coming everything L-shaped.
Right.
We're coming into a time of qualitative transformation in the evolutionary process in this part of the universe. And there's nothing given that we're going to make it. We're in the womb. We're coming to a new relationship. We don't know what that is. We've tried to understand what that larger reality is. We invent religions, myths, and this kind of thing, and
find some
they had
good
to have
pop
that. They had
stuff.
to have it for ethics. They had to have it for some sense of meaning and purpose and everything, and they had to do that. That they came up with it. But now we're getting down to where we can understand it strictly materialistically in the evolutionary process. Why we're at a time of qualitative.
Wait,
And
now,
on one side, you got weapons now that since and only since about 1970
It keeps coming back to that.
are species lethal.
Species
If
lethal.
they're
Please make a
unleashed
note
as
of
they
that.
have been,
Species.
if they were
How do you
unleashed
spell that?
as they have been throughout the whole of the human experience,
All right,
as
all
far
right,
as
so we
can
got-
tell, one tribe getting
We're gonna
advantage
pop the
to steal
planet,
the brains
man.
of somebody
It's not
else,
from the
become
weapons.
powerful
We're
to
gonna
benefit
fuck it
their
up
own
without
and
the
have
weapons.
special interests
We'll
built
fuck it up
within
with,
all the different political systems, all in the
melting the
understanding
ice,
it's not nearly
man.
enough. It's scarce. For me to get rich, you have to be poor. That kind of thing has been characteristic of the whole evolution of the human society.
Yep.
Okay, and that's 200,000 years, 10,000 generations, and something alternate is going on at the level of universe.
Right.
And one of the things that's going on is we're coming to understand things like what happens when you smoke pot, or what happens when you know,
This is
we're
what happens.
understanding things, neurotransmitters we didn't know 50 years ago. None of them.
Fulfillment
And also in
friendlies.
physics, it's very important because they've taken the Wilkinson.
It didn't get better.
We're understanding the universe. He was talking about the 200 million years ago, and we're understanding the universe and knowing it and making it. We're understanding it, and we get down to where we understand in physics. I mean, the second law of thermodynamics. Every system moves to chaos, to the limits of the system, which is, the second law of all thermodynamics.
If nobody else in the crowd's going to do it, you're going to give it the max.
And if there is there any alternative understanding of evolution?
Evolution.
By mankind,
Evolution. Is that an alternative to religion?
Give a notion of
It's a different
meaning
religion.
to what it's all about in terms of the largest. One last thing.
If the courts say it's evolution or religion,
if it's a closed system or an open system,
it does
they have
kind
a
of
picture
cause an equation
of the
there.
shock wave of the Big Bang.
The alternative authority system.
Yeah.
13.8 billion years ago,
choices.
when this universe
Authority, that's
was
the big
created,
puzzle.
they have a picture
How
of
do
the
we
shock
pin the
wave.
donkey on the authority
Only
department?
200,000 years after its
Or
occurrence.
the tail, I
from
mean, the tail, not the whole donkey.
Wilkinson
Come on,
Sachs,
this is just authority.
It's like Galileo
Over us.
telescope. We have this. That's a hell of a good.
You understand the charges?
For this country to take the measure of things in a comprehensive way.
I understand. I didn't. I thought he like asking for change, charge.
It's not been
Do you understand
financed. It's
charges
not been
with the
successful.
tips and the?
I think they're cutting back because of the debt crisis and all that. But they had a
Here's my card.
and I think it was called Lisa. It was going to take a picture of the shock wave 13.8 billion years ago
Oi.
within a nanosecond of its occurrence. That's a hell of a sophisticated ability to take the measure of things that we have out of the material understanding of everything. And
Could we celebrate that, brother?
Well,
the birth of it all, and how quick was that again?
Upset that they didn't.
That was quick, you know.
But what's come up?
That's coming quick, you know.
Things change through time. 200 years ago with Washington, it was a whole different world and everything. But it's in Rome or whatever. We can go back and we have to link to history. And we have to link to the past. We have to relate to it, to anchor to it. But we can't have those institutional assumptions being relevant when you have a qualitative change, like say the United States of America versus 2,000 years of
It's really easy,
hierarchical,
Harold.
dynastic states in Europe, feudalism. They made an alteration.
Harold, happy societies are wealthier societies where everybody's able to participate.
Well, I don't think you've ever had, in that case, if you mean everybody, I don't think we've ever had that. We may have to have
Throughout
that.
history,
We may have to have that.
People have a natural sense of justice. People are offended by injustice.
Well,
And it's not just us Americans, and it's not just 200 years. It happens time
no,
and
it's
again.
coming.
That's why when you read the Vedas, you can see. When you were gone, we were having a discussion. I said, you see, Harold said that we only know about neurotransmitters now, but if you really study the texts, you'll see they had a very deep understanding. They didn't have the word neurotransmitter,
right?
But they certainly understood that there was a place, a noble place for a human being to go, and for his whole society to go.
Yeah. Well, that can be done at the level of ethics.
You join Molly?
Those questions can be brought up with the idea of ethics, or from anywhere.
Molly can take over.
But the fact is that those weapons, even as recently as 1982,
We're on the
62.
species level.
The 62.
Just so you know, we're not getting out of here alive.
There was.
Molly, I like your knees, Molly.
Been rolling around in the dirt.
Joe, here you take
Okay, Harold, you've raised some important points.
Well,
We're all gonna die. Just remember.
no, that's an excess. We're talking about 1970 as being something other than sex, drugs, and rock and roll and party, and that there was something going on existentially in universe at
Which
that
was
time,
bad, that we
which
had a
could
good
be
chance and we
understood
blew it.
perhaps, and understood by an exponentially increasing intellectual understanding of a broader reality of universe. And we're talking about how thermodynamics.
What do you
and
say
all that,
about that, Molly?
and getting to the point where
Thermodynamics and
this
reality
is the
and-
defining generation of 10,000
Let's just talk about
generations.
quantum physics
Well, we could talk about quantum
and
physics.
mass-free energy.
Well, perhaps that might have
that's
political
free
content.
energy.
You want to get to something political. But the
No,
thing
it's
is,
more than
Wow.
political.
Joe wanted to hear what you had to say.
Abundant
About what?
energy.
Whatever you were talking about.
Free
I thought
energy.
Joe Friendly was interrupting you, so I'm going to go calm him down. And Molly understands the family
I can't
dynamics
understand.
here.
What?
So Molly will talk.
Joe's upset?
He's upset about how
Joe
much I
wanted to
interrupt
hear
you.
And he felt that Joe Friendly was being silly. I'm going to calm him down, but Molly can pick up. Keep
Well, I don't know. We're just talking. Good to
keep
see
those
you,
public
Jan.
access
See you
home
for a
cars
long time.
going.
You're still doing the lighting and everything? Yeah, is it? Still
Yeah,
doing-
with a vengeance.
yeah.
Um,
You are a gaffer? Is that right or wrong?
Well-
I don't understand the reality of that.
a gaffer is the head of the department.
Okay, yeah.
The best boy's the second, and then they're thirds. We're all
Oh, I see.
just electricians.
Uh-huh. And is it a television or film shoot or
TV show.
TV show? Well, good.
Yeah.
They treat you well, I
And he
hope.
said, I encourage you not to tell anybody.
But they well, good. Anyway, it's good to see. Give your best. I was thinking about
I just saw
re-airing.
my father.
I was thinking about re-airing that program with John. It was really good.
Yeah, no, he's hot after the trail of mass-free energy.
Well, that's good. That's really good. Yeah.
And
That's-
close to making it happen, but of course, I can't say anything for the record.
Yeah. Okay. Don't say anything for the record that would.
Jeopardize.
Anyway, so what we
the
were
men
talking
in black will show up and make it all not happen.
But that is significant that those weapons became, and is recently, certainly the Second World War, no, even 1962 Cuban Missile, there would have been survivors of the species. But after 1970, that's when it became that if there was an all-out, and that's the difference in terms of reality between the capability and the existing reality that we talk about in the news and politics and everything. But
on a different tack, Carol.
so, and it's good to make that connection with that potentiality in terms of what is reality. I had this thing with the guy where it was, I just came in the other day, that humanity was contained within the Australopithecine, right? So Australopithecine was 4 million years ago. We were contained in that. If we take into account
Let me ask you this
a
question.
time factor in evolution of consciousness,
Does
including its
Condoleezza Rice have a
extension
mate?
technology.
Does
Hmm?
Condoleezza Rice have a mate?
Condoleezza Rice? I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. I'm not even, is she married? I don't know.
I thought she and George Bush were tight.
Well, they were very tight, yeah.
But he was married.
Yeah.
Allegedly in Gaddafi's belongings, they found a whole notebook of pictures of Condi Rice.
So I understand, but
Yeah,
if
he
she's
has-
fair game, if she wasn't married, then he had
Yeah.
a right to dream about her.
Yeah.
I think
No, I
they
think
did
they
more
were
than
friends.
dream.
They were friends. They were trying to make an alliance with the world.
I thought that
Condi
they
and him went at
Chief
it?
W. Yeah, I thought that they were having an affair. That's
Well,
Oh,
this is
cool.
hot.
That's-
This is already
Yeah,
hot.
That's
that's
If they
that
got
was
her
the
signature on the picture.
Why would they have an affair?
because they could.
You mean
No.
sexual affair? Why would
That's
they
just
have
what
that?
I
They would
heard.
have a meeting of the minds. or something.
well, why couldn't he's a boy?
Well,
She's
anything-
a girl.
Well, all right. Anyway, that's
She's hot, why not?
Anyway, but then the
It
other
probably was good sex too, Harold.
other way. But you've got
Yeah, you
now.
can't
You've
think
got
of
now.
Condi Rice
They
in
like
didn't
terms
quit
that.
early.
But is it possible to say that this is in fact the defining generation of Homo sapien and evolutionary process? In the
We have a
universe
chance
after
to
death?
save it.
Does it make sense?
We haven't gone down yet. In
No,
other
but
words, if
can you
human
realize how unique
intelligence-
that is? Do you
human-
realize how unique it is to be both danger? Chinese say don't be born in interesting times. These are the most interesting times in the history of ever, and also the most challenging. And I don't think there's anything.
I agree with you there.
It's like the birth. It's like a birth canal, and we've been coming into a new way of being, just like Homo sapien, except we're going through it wide awake now.